Mm. Oops. All right, let's get this party started. I think this should compile. I don't think I've changed anything since I ran it last night. Oh, wow. Nick, you're like just jumping right in there. And Manadona with the raid. I was lurking earlier, man. How was your stream? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I guess this is roughly when it happened. Hmm. Unreal Engine makes me crazy. Yeah, I know what you mean. I gotta I gotta I gotta fix I gotta get rid of those. But I had a fun problem yesterday that I had to solve. I love game dev. I'm happy that I can provide that. Hey, man, I don't know. I had a fun one yesterday. So I had my bullets, right? And I'd fire my bullet, and this is where it was supposed to come out. And then it would show up like over here. And I couldn't figure out why. And it was because something wasn't being attached correctly in the freaking uh the mesh wasn't being attached correctly. Um uh so if we go to the here, right? Right? Go to the viewport. So the mesh wasn't attached correctly, and for some reason it was like way off in La La Land. But it didn't have a transform because it wasn't connected correctly. So I couldn't see that. And it was annoying. And also thank you to everybody for the happy anniversary wishes. I very much appreciate it. You enough options to shoot yourself in the foot, unintended. Hey, foot guns are an important part of development. Oh. They give you even more options when we're talking about C++ too. Today I tried to make dynamic cube map, and it turns out the source cube map on a scene capture object is called that sounds about right. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Dreadleaf, welcome back. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. And when you make something like when you make something const, it enforces certain habits. So makes sense. Yeah. It does kind of suck, but it does make sense. I think I'm only using this once. Mm. Oh, right. Give me a moment. How about I just make all variables global and public? That I feel like that's not going to be fun to deal with. Mm. You know what the fun thing about doing this in C++ is? That you get real foot guns that actually crash your editor. They're really easy to find. When you play with the C, yippee. Yeah, when you play with the C++ side of Unreal, you get the even better foot guns because you can do more horrible things. Like, yeah, C++ for the win, right? So like I'm doing something horrible here, right? With these bullets, right? I'm actually I'm actually making new bullets every time I fire one. I'm not pooling them. Actually, that's a lie. I have a huge memory leak right now. I have an array that I'm pushing them into because I plan on pooling them. But I haven't finished writing code for that. So in the meantime, they're just going into a giant T array, a giant array, and I'm not doing anything with them. They do die, right? Like they do get cold because they have a lifespan. The lifespan is quite long though, mainly because I like slowed them down and stuff like that to do debugging and stuff like that. But today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start a spawner so we can actually get some gameplay in and build out a health system. And we'll deal with the bullet like the absolute base foundation of the bullet system has been laid down and refined to the 0%. It is more like I put a T array down so I can tell myself I'm starting. But we do need actual characters to come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a blueprint class, and we're going to do a pseudo character base. BP bad guy or enemy bad guy and enemy. There. on mesh. But I don't know, you never told me, how was the rest of your stream? I was lurking for a bit. The rest was really good until cube maps. Well, why are you trying to do the cube map that way? Like, maybe that's not the answer. It's like there's there's a lot of stuff. Okay, so first things first. I have tick turned off, right? I thought I turned tick off on this. Okay, so all we want to do is is um map these guys along our thing, right? Like we just want them to run towards the church, right? So the church has to be a actor, and I don't know if the church really needs to be its own like C++ actor because of how simple it's going to be. BP base player base fuck, I need help. I require assistance from the stream. I need to name the church in something that isn't just the church, right? So it's like it's your base, but base ends up getting used for like other stuff as well. So I don't want to name it base. Bend Glorp House of Glorp House of the Lord. I need something that I can type. We could do this. We do forward operating chapel. Not really, because it might, like, if I make another map, it might not be a church, it might be something else, right? The idea is this is kind of like the the this is what you're protecting, right? So you've got your area where the bad guys come in, and then they swarm up to here, right? And the goal is to defend this effectively. This is your base, right? But I want to be able to move it so it's not just a chapel. I have a base, and I would like to try and find a name for this actor in my game, but I do not want to use the word base because it gets used for things like a base character and implies something else. And then we need to make sure that we actually, do this right. Implies. I did not spell that even a little bit correctly. Core, prime, origin, unity. Unity, good for character. What? Physical, protect from feel. Anchor, pillar. Lost roads. It could be Nexus. That feels a little bit Nexus feels like Genesis. Good starting point for characters without to do. Foundation. Root. I think I'm just gonna use Nexus. It does feel kind of League of Legendsy, but Nexus. Base. But hey, if it works, it works. Static mesh. There's our church. There's a lot more in this church, but church nonetheless. Oh, wow. The default church doesn't even have, wow, it's missing so much. I didn't even realize that. That's not it. Oh, wait, what? No, maybe. Oh, because those aren't those. Okay, those aren't. This one's supposed to be that. This one here is supposed to be. down. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so if we move these around, we can do that. But I think what we'll do is we'll delete that, and because these don't need to necessarily be there, we'll just leave them that way. All right, Nick. See you in a bit. We'll go strip down for this one for now. But the basic idea is here's our nexus, and then we're going to add in a box collision. Effective. There we go. Okay, so then if we go to an event graph here, we do this, we do this, we do tick. I was so I looked into like why they enable tick on everything. And it is because they don't want people complaining that tick's not enabled. It's because there's certain things that you can't do without tick. Right? And because of that, um with without 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 tick, people run into problems, right? And because of that, they that they leave tick on so people are less likely to run into those exact problems. bad guy base. This isn't actually what I meant. I wanted to do enemy. Yeah, ticket's kind of annoying sometimes. Other actor. Cast to BP enemy base. I'm going to move this over to C++ after I get it working though. Sorry, this needs to be current health. And then this will be max health. If it works, there's no reason to keep it in I don't have a reason to keep it in blueprints though. Okay, so depending on how much of your game is C++ and how much of it is blueprints, keeping things in blueprints creates more work. So if you've got a blueprint heavy game, like and you're only using the C++ for very limited things, then keeping things in blueprints is very easy. I need access to the enemy base inside of C++, and I will at some point, right? And I know that. So it makes sense to bring that into C++, right? At some point, I'm going to need access to this Nexus base class in C++, then I might need to, then I'll have to transfer it, right? So, doing the bare minimum, doing the very bare minimum to like, to just to like in this case, I'm not doing anything complicated. I'm just doing a really basic health system on this, right? And because of that, then I don't have to I can get it rigged up pretty easily, and then it's minimal C++ code on the other side, right? But if I'm expanding this out to anything complex, I'm not keeping it in blueprints. People need to get over their fear of the C++ for Unreal. It's not that bad. It's really not bad at all. Right? Because calling from C++ into blueprints is horrible. There are kind of ways to do it, but it's horrible. So you want to keep what you can in C++ within reason, right? So like we go here, we go sudo nexus base. Get this class, right? It's so bad. It's not. It's really not. It's really not bad. The only reason that you don't like it is because you don't use it. You don't use it, so you don't know it well enough. It's actually really easy. And some of your code would actually benefit from having it because like some of your spaghetti would be so much easier to deal with if you weren't in Blueprint land. Because like math is such a pain in the ass to do in blueprints. It bothers me so much because it's like if you start getting into like any complex math, it just doesn't flow, and it creates like so much mess to do like so little work, right? Okay, so let's take this. I'll show you how easy this is to convert, right? So we'll take this and we'll convert this over into a C++ class, right? So what do we have? What do we have that all of these are going to have? We're going to have these, right? Like not that one, but this one and this one. These two are going to be always there. So let's do that real quick here. So we're going to come into here. We're going to come into here. We're going to turn off tick, false, and then primary actor tick dot start tick. Beautiful. Okay, that's all we have to do. Then we want a you property edit anywhere. I kind of the object pointer u static mesh component. Nexus mesh. Then we need another u property. And then this one's going to be the t object pointer, and this is going to be a u box component. Or declare. And then this, right? We're gonna call this the hitbox. Then in here, we just have to create them. And then we just say Nexus mesh. And then this one's going to be a U box component. And this one will be the hitbox. Right? And we're going to give this a default a default sub object here. There we go. There we go. There's our scene root. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually attach these. Nexus mesh attach to component root component. What is this complaining about? Oh, wait. Sorry, give me a sec. Was it weapon? No. It was bullet. Projectile. Set up attachment. Oops. Yeah. Capsule component. No. I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I did help with a Magic the Gathering thing. Or something like that. Can't remember the exact name of it. It was an iOS Magic the Gathering. He's got a Magic. Oh, there it is. Wait, is that it? No, that's not it. One of my buddies is really big into Magic the Gathering, and he created a mobile app because he wanted to find new cards. So all it is, it's like it's an Instagram feed, a scrolling feed of random cards with all their details and like a link to show how much it's worth or something like that, right? So it's just a bunch of it's just random cards. This is it. So I built out a server that would allow him to fetch the updated database for this. That's as close to Magic the Gathering as I ever really got. I think I actually installed the game though, like the Magic the Gathering trading card game thing. And I played it once. And didn't really get very far. I don't think that style of card game is really for me though. Like I like really fast. Like I think I'm more geared towards like a more fast paced game. Magic the Gathering seems very slow. Did this just resolve itself? No, it did not. This should work. Is that root component? No. Warframe is actually the complete opposite. I do not think that I will enjoy Warframe. There's a reason why I haven't played it. I legitimately do not think I will enjoy that game. I've watched you play it, and I do not like the way it looks. All this is like the only game that I play right now when I do play games. Right.
Greetings.
And if we like go to the end
Bounty
here,
though.
a lot of these guys play pretty fast.
See that golden rock.
Right?
Okay, so now he has double brain.
Oh, you know
like,
what? It feels
another
faster
question.
because
Yeah,
I
wait a
watch it
second,
at
wait. Let's go.
2.5 times
Ooh,
speed,
no money.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do
But
know what
like
happens. Yeah. Oh, we got golden Rogers finally.
when I say fast paced, I don't mean like I have to have like nano, like I don't want something where I've got to be like managing everything at a nano level at every second of the game. I mean like I want the game to start and be over in a reasonable amount of time so I can play a game and do something. Right? So like a really long Hearthstone game for me would be like maybe 20 minutes, right? And they can be shorter. And the skill involved is knowing the cards and how you can figure out ways to build up your deck before you go into battle every time, right? There's a little bit of there's actually there can be quite a bit of RNG with this game though, and it's sometimes it gets a little bit too RNG-ous for me, and I have to step away from it. But this is more along the lines of the type of style that I like to play. Bullet hell games or games that are entirely too flashy just drive me insane. No, because you're looking at Hearthstone, and I don't play Hearthstone. I play Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Here, I'll show you like one round of Hearthstone.
Early. This was a card where we weren't sure how to play it, how to level with it, but it is basically a Boulder Twist Ogre.
Right?
Yeah, I'm dodging the stat line. You heard it.
Okay, so here we're in the buy stage. He's gonna buy cards.
That's golden then. Wow. I guess you just do this turn the same way because whichever one you steal, it's good. Yeah, this turn doesn't change. Oh,
okay.
It doesn't update. Wow. Once you buy, it gets wow, bro. That is sick. Now
there we go. So he bought a card.
He gets +8/+8
because he had 4 gold, so he could buy he could buy one card because each card was worth each card that you played was going to be worth 3 gold.
That is a way to not take damage on Clocksworth. Rolling a golden trog, and then just using the effect, leveling slightly slower. That's okay.
There. And then that was the round. The guy can walk away from his computer at that point once he goes into that round, and there's no interaction from us, right? We're just thinking about our next turn.
You can freeze the mana here. You can just play the buster.
Right. So here he's got 5 gold. It's 3 gold to upgrade, 3 gold for this, 3 gold for this, 3 gold for this, 1 gold for this.
And level, freeze banana. Next turn, level banana, and then you have the card. It's kind of chill. I don't hate that. It's like guaranteed the 1 cost thing. Use the buster.
Right.
Yeah, this one's super easy.
So there, that was his turn, and now this part, the actual like cards damaging each other and whatnot, that's entirely automated, right? And then this is this guy's health pool. He has 46 health, and this person has 45 health.
And next turn, he just doesn't lose either. And probably the turn after that, maybe even, because that's 16 health unit after the banana. So just level banana and level again. That's so sick, right? 14, 16. Golden River Skipper. Wait, what? Golden River Skipper, regular River Skipper. Is he playing like Warrior Curve? We lost, by the way.
Yeah, but then when you get up to the end of this,
Roger's gonna be really pickle with the.
This guy was able to build up his hand, right, in that buy stage, because like there's cards that you can play that buff your board, right? So if you buff your board during the play stage, the buffs are temporary. If you buff your board during the buy stage, then your buffs are permanent. And there's arguments for both sides, right? Like you can make really powerful buffs on both sides that allow you to win games. But in this one, this guy's buffed the shit out of his board in the buy stage, right? And this is the most common way to play. Finding different ways of buffing your board in the buy stage is the most common, right? So this guy's going to attack say this guy here attacks this one. It's also going to attack this and this at the same time. And this guy does the same thing. But yeah, that's about the only game that I've been playing lately. And I got to figure out why this isn't working. What do you mean this takes 3 parameters? Oh, that's why. Attached to component. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to set up attachment. No, let's put this on the root as well. There. Float max health. We'll say max health will equal 100 by default. Best well, that's an interesting one. They didn't even give the thingy-mabob. However, are we going to give them the credit? Float current health equals 100. And now I don't want this to, I want this to dynamically set based off of that. So I want it to be, I'm just going to set it as a default for now. But what we're going to do is we're also going to come into here and then we can do current health equals max health. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that just a bucket of amazing? Then we can get rid of this because we don't actually care about tick. See, see, man, I don't know. It's not that hard. And then if I want to be able to, if I want to make a function that that I want to call from within or bind or use or whatever in Blueprint land, it's just like here, take damage, right? Float damage amount. You function blueprint call. Health is less than or equal to 0. Do something here. I think I scared off the Manadono. He ran away without saying anything. He's like, screw you, pseudo. But yeah. Here we go. Getting hungry. Don't you give me that. By the way, every time I send you a gluten-free fucking video from Instagram, my Instagram feed turns into gluten-free hell. It's like my next, like it for like the next hour, it's all gluten-free bullshit. I should probably go grab my slice of pizza. Actually, why don't we all do that? I'll be right back as well. Okay, I'm back. Oh. I have a chicken curry. My bad. Wait, I feel like MB means something else other than my bad. I have a chicken sausage pizza, a slice of chicken sausage pizza with barbecue sauce. It's- yeah, these plates kind of suck. So I've got these paper plates for when I'm on chemo. And they really are not very good. Potato plates. Mm. Yeah, it's just like they tear up really easily. And yes, I am eating my pizza with a fork and knife, and I'm doing it for a reason. Mostly to keep my hands clean right now. Okay, so now if I come back here, and we now inherit from here. Look at that, we get this. Isn't that kind of nice? Right? Like, Beautiful. Now there are certain parts that we don't care too much about now. We don't actually care. Like we do actually, I do care about this because I want to do this, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do this, and I want to do paste. It's there. Now it's about the same size, right? I want to delete this one. We don't need 2 of this static mesh. That we want to keep. And this will save. There. Beautiful. Then we have to build this. Begin overlap. I want to begin overlap, right? So to do that, to set up the overlap, we do that here. Right? We do box there, hit box, set up. What was it? It was I think I did it in the pseudo. No, I did it in the bullet. Projectile. Was it? Oh yeah, it's on begin plane. So all we have to do is come here, come down here, we do this, we pop that there, beautiful. Look at that. Hit box. And then all we need to do is do this. Right? So now we need just all we need now is this. Right? So if I come over here, I can just do this. Copy, then we go over to the Nexus base, and we're going to go to their begin play, and then we'll go paste that down there like that. It's beautiful. There we go. So I don't actually. I think for this one, I don't want to do the take any damage thing. So we're gonna cast the other actor. But to do that, we need it. This is like where I was saying. Sorry, this is where I was saying, like, when you start getting more into C++, you need more C++ in your project, right? So now now I want this, right? Because I need to have um pseudo enemy character, right? While this finishes, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go throw my plate and stuff in the microwave. In the in the freezer. Do you like to open the log to see the details? No, I don't care. There's a reason why it didn't work, and it was because I made it not work. I want to know why that's being weird, because that actually just kind of bugged me. But yeah. What? This didn't generate everything. That's weird. But whatever. Oh, this didn't import. That's why. Like, why is this being weird? But yeah, this absolutely did not generate. And we need a pseudo enemy character base. Did I add anything to this, or is this just an okay? No, this is just entirely the thing. Okay. New property. Edit anywhere. Float. Max health equals 100. Float current health equals 100. Oops. I don't think we've got anything explicitly that we want to set up in here. Because reasons. It's kind of already all there, right? What do we still need? I think this has the is alive. Yeah, there it is. So enemy character base. And this one needs to be void. So this would be void. Kill. Character. This isn't overriding anything, right? Okay, beautiful. I'm going to do this in the character base. U function blueprint callable. Virtual void kill character. Ragdoll character here. Blueprint callable. Virtual void revive or reset character. Reset character here. So we are going to have to do that, which is going to be kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Welcome back, gamer. I had a feeling that was you on Instagram. But we are actually making progress today, and it's coming out nicely. So, I'll show you where we're at. We've got bullets flying. Lots and lots of bullets. All the bullets. So much bullets. It's your birthday? No. It's my affiliate birthday. So it's a number of years ago today I got my affiliation on Twitch. Better today than I was the other day. I've got the house to myself. So and nothing else to do all day. So this is where I'm at right now. And right now I'm just doing so like I'm creating a base nexus to replace this with. And then I'm gonna need to create a AI manager and set up the bad guys to actually march down to the church and kill it. What I'm thinking is I'll do an explosion. Boom! When they touch the church, they'll just explode. But when you shoot them, they'll ragdoll. We'll come back in an hour. Sounds good. I'm just sitting here with my very British tea. where I have to go. For now, I have a lesson in chemistry for school. Nice. One of my friends is teaches chemistry at a university. She's a very sweet lady. Very smart. See you in an hour. Okay, so where were we here? Right. We need a spawner here. Where these bad guys are going to spawn out of. But I guess before we do that, we should probably what if we do this? What if we do this? Nobody's going to talk about it. There we go. That's an interesting shape. Oh, interesting. This has a different material. There we go. Where's the tower? Oh. Why isn't this coming in? Cannot attach static mesh component to move it. Oh, that's why it's not working. Static. There we go. That's better. Wait, did I delete the wrong one? No, this is the church. Where's my Nexus? That's not where my Nexus is supposed to be. Did I copy the wrong one? I think I did. That doesn't surprise me. I feel like it should, but it doesn't surprise me. Like, look how far away it went. Let's just reset that. Wait, this is the church tower? These are not supposed to be based off the church tower. They're supposed to be based off of this. There we go. Oh, interesting. That's not part of the queue. I figured it would be. We can just leave these because we don't actually care about them. So all the things that we care about keeping the same, we'll just leave. We'll leave as part of the default. There we go. So and this is as much as we need for now. We can figure out the rest later. Okay, so if we go to enemy character. Do that thing here. So when they hit the church, we just want them to explode. I'm already starting to run out of steam. My energy levels are just fucking tanking right now. Chemo has been doing that to me where it's just like um the the radiation, right? For radiation, I was like either I didn't have energy um at like for the entire day or like I overexerted myself, right? With chemo's not like that. Chemo so far for me has been like I have energy, I don't have energy. 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 And it just kind of comes and goes in waves. No real rhyme or reason as far as I can tell so far. It's just one of those things. And then the no coffee that I've been putting myself on is probably also not a great great situation for keeping energy levels up. If 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 you know what I mean. What's going up here? Oh. Welcome back. How was class? Wait, what? There we go. It was pretty good, actually. That's good. Sorry. Excuse me. No, no, God, no. Not yet. Did I not create that? No, I did. Oh, right. This is the sorry, this is the begin overlap for this. It's going to take me a bit to get it to be overlappable. Or sorry, explodable. A pseudo enemy character base. If which a pseudo enemy character base? It can be, but it's not too bad. Enemy explode character. So there's a couple different things that we need to worry about here. Sure, we need a we need to figure out what type of AI we want. So we can have effectively 3 different types of AI for the enemies. They can either be state tree, they can be based, they can be Blackboard based, or I can just hand roll something. Right? So effectively we have our buildings on the side here, right? Right? These are buildings, right? And then we've got the church down here. And we've got the railway right here where they spawn in, and they spawn in here, right? And then the objective for the AI is to get down to here and touch the church and explode. And then the player is to push back the swarm. So we kind of have, and then so we've got 3 different systems that we could utilize in order to make the AI do the thing, right? But we also want the AI to attack the player. And we don't want the AI to just spawn here and literally just walk straight. right? Because that would make the game boring. Because then you could just stand still and just fire down a line and kill all of them. So if we have our spawn points like one here, maybe like, or something like that, and then we can give them objectives effectively that they want to go do before they do. Read Plants vs. Zombies, Gun Edition. Yeah, it could kind of be that way. I was thinking COD Zombies was kind of like the overarching idea that I was thinking of. Mixed with maybe a little bit of Mega Bonk. Because I don't want them to just have like straight paths. It feels kind of boring when you're the one controlling, right? And then it becomes a tower defense, and I'm not a big tower defense guy. I did at one point consider doing effectively like a Mega Bonk style game. And I decided that that wouldn't be a great idea. I don't think I could do that in a month. I think this idea is a little easier. It would have to be like in range. Like, are you in enough range? Is your character visible in enough range, kind of thing? But we've kind of got to I've kind of got to decide like how intelligent do I want the AI to be? Right? And then we can do state tree or uh sorry, we can do state tree or we can do what was I gonna say? Yeah, we can do state tree or we can do like blackboards. I don't think blackboards would be great. But we could also just hand roll our own system. Not the end of the world. It's not even all that difficult. Just because like the AI isn't going to be particularly I right now I don't think the AI is going to be particularly intelligent. Ugh. Make the zombie knows the player if a certain distance, then we could play with that. They're not actually zombies though. They're quote unquote bad guys. Because I don't actually have a zombie character. So this is our bad guy. Doesn't he look devious? Cindy does actually have an entire like pack for zombie stuff. It's just too expensive right now. And I never thought I'd use it, so when I could have afforded it, I never did. So I was like, the horror pack stuff is kind of not really my thing. Where did it go? I know it's around here somewhere. Yeah, so they've got like a bunch of zombie packs. I don't think I really like the new sidekick stuff that they did. I think they completely stopped doing the simple bundles. Like the simple stuff altogether. I'm kind of leaning towards state trees. I think they're pretty fair. They're fairly performant. And we'll get to learn something new that we haven't really played that I haven't really played with. But I also think that I don't have too much longer in me for today. I might possibly do a um second stream today. But I'm starting to peter out of energy. Since the bad guys are cowboy style, you can make them tie up the player with a lasso or rob. I don't know how to spell it to delay him. I don't have creating the animations for tying him up with a rope wouldn't be effective use of time, since I've only got like if this was a game that was like gonna be like a long-term game, that'd be a pretty decent idea. But because it's like a 1 month jam, is the I don't think I have a lasso either, so I wouldn't be able to. I'd have to make that and then create animations for it and stuff like that, and it would be more work than it's worth. Unfortunately, but I like the idea. I'm just gonna give them guns, and you'll have a certain health pool effectively. Oh, we should probably make a. No, I'll just shove this in. No, we'll do AI. Spawner. This one I actually do want tech on. Spawn rate. Last. Last spawn. So in this one, we kind of have two different options here. So if we go like this, go spawn rate here, right? Default value, say we do 0.5, right? So we've got our delta seconds. So if we take this, we'll say time since last spawn. Oh, hey. Molzy Toop, Toop. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and just do an add, and then we'll do a comparison. And this will be if this is greater than or equal to this, then we will, do a branch. What is the game about? I'll show you. We haven't completed much of anything yet, but so we've got a church here, and we have our guy in the church. We spawn, and I might have some people in here, and this is your home base effectively, and then down here at the train station, I'm going to spawn a bunch of enemies, and they're going to rush down to the church, and your job is to defend the church. And if you don't defend the church, then you lose the game. You've got to shoot all the enemies as they spawn in a never-ending wave or something like that. It's a it's going to be a very basic game. Mainly because I have to finish it. I've only got I've only sorry, I've only got 14 days left, and the chemo is not being not the chemo is not good on my energy. So trying to do as much as I can while I can. And so it's been so long since I've done a lot of this stuff. Good Ver, welcome back. Good to catch me live. Thanks. It's good to be alive. I was about to hit the sack here. But saw you were alive. Dude, I damn near feel like I need to hit the sack soon. Okay, so if true, we're going to spawn in a bad guy. Thought I'd say hi. I appreciate it. Oops. Enemy to spawn. Pseudo enemy character base. Oh wait, no, this needs to be a class. I hope you get well soon and get it done. Well, hopefully. Wait, where's my bad guy? Yeah, my BP enemy. Oh, I didn't reparent him, that's why. There we go. Been following your updates on Instagram? Oh, nice. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Looks like you have a lot of audience that misses you. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of great people around me. Spawn actor from class. Bring in the class. Bam. And then this will be get actor transform. And we want to add a arrow. This way we can see which way is forwards. Looks like you. Oh, yeah. So the so it's so strange. Now I actually understand a lot of the stuff that Pseudo is doing on blueprints. Oh, have you been doing a bunch of blueprints? Oh, to be fair, it's been months since I even have been streaming, right? Started my game. Nice. That's good to hear. It's good to hear that you're getting into it. I'm guessing that you haven't gotten into the C++ side of it. Which I will probably be switching this over to at some point. Especially since it's doing math on tick. Have a lot of patience explaining my new bab stuff back then, so you have played a role in it. well, that's good to hear. Not yet C++, but not opposed to getting into it. Well, the important thing is that if you learn this, right, then you've also learned a lot of this stuff in Blueprint. The blueprints, the blueprint calls mostly like largely match up pretty well to the C++ calls. It's just a matter of structuring them differently. Right? So blueprints are the best spot to start. Bar none. The absolute best spot to start. They're the least confusing. So I'd say until you're really comfortable with blueprints, you and I team up. That might make things hard. Team dev. Transferring Unreal projects over the internet can be quite challenging. I'm just gonna put that out there. Doing the transfer because the projects actually get quite large. Going on an open world map with a nice RTS camera, edge scroll, zoom, rotation, pan, etc., and an instant hotkey to switch any selected aircraft on the map, both camera and controls, etc. Dude, nice. Nice. One for RTS modes, one for flying around, flying mode with physics, etc. That's cool. Sounds like you've made a lot of progress. I try not to discourage anybody from trying because it's not good. Only using placeholders yet? That's fine. Placeholders are great. As long as you can visualize your product with placeholders, there's nothing wrong with placeholders. That's really good to hear. I haven't played around with state trees yet, but I've been meaning to try them. I know I was never a huge fan of the Blackboard system. Like, it works, and it works well, and it structures things in such a way that it can be much easier to understand at times. But like, I found that like debugging Blackboard stuff was always such a pain in the ass. Right? Because it's like so disjointed. Like everything's an abstracted away from everything's with Blackboards. I found that like everything's abstracted away from an abstraction that's abstracted on top of another abstraction, and you need like 6 classes to do everything and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is a bit ridiculous for like the simple AI that I'm looking to build, right? But then I also look at it and I'm just like, if I wanted to, no, Blackboards and behavior trees are two different things. Both of them are still, oh wait, behavior trees. Sorry. I have to look at what behavior trees look like again. It's been a while since I looked at them. Yeah. Behavior trees are the Blackboard stuff. Yeah. Yeah, this is if I remember correctly, because it's like keep in mind this has been a while since I looked at this. This is your Blackboard where you lay it all out. This is where you start, kind of. The idea is you start here, and then comes down here and goes does this, if this returns false effectively, it goes to here. If this returns false, it goes to here. Or in this case, this one, if this returns false, it just jumps to the next one. In this case, when this finishes executing this wait, it goes to this wait. So it goes do 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 do. Right? Now just try and think about this if you've got a really complex AI. Right? But then also, if we want to get this actually working, right? So we have to create the Blackboard, and then we have to set up the Blackboard, and then we have to create all these different things to check for it, and we've got to create a controller that then we attach to the player, and we need to make sure that we initiate it and stuff like that. Like there's all these like little gotchas that we've got to go through, and like there's so much setup. There's so much setup for it. Yeah. And then state trees still have the like I don't remember how you create your own states here, but like they're not that complex, because at the end of the day most games don't need like really complex AIs. They actually need pretty basic AIs, and then the complexity of an AI, like the complexity feel of an AI, comes from its ability to appear like it cares. Like there was a great example in, I want to say that it was Halo. They didn't like the AI in Halo. Super degen, of course, naturally. So I think when they were playing around with the also welcome back 6412. When they were playing around with the AI I do think this was Halo. It didn't feel right, and so all they did was they tweaked a number, how much damage the enemies do, and it made the enemies feel smarter because they were doing more damage to the to 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 to, to the player. So it felt like they were like they were better. Super like what's up? What? Oh, not too much. I'm just I'm just slowly mentally degrading right now. Because I think I'm hitting my 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 I need to maybe go for a rest soon. Hmm. The 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 the
time in Starlight Lacuna stream. Everybody follow.
how about you 6412? How are things on your end? Get random reachable point in radius. Get can I just do location? So just so you know, I can only do this because I have a nav mesh bounds down. So it looks at this and says, "Hey, is this reachable?" The massive pain in my ass called me to do something. How are you feeling, handsome? Well, say hi to Beth for me. I'm doing okay. You know, mostly just kind of trying to get as much. You seem to be better than last stream I caught. Last stream you caught, I was at the very tail end as well, or whatever, and I was pretty out of it. I'm trying. Yeah, I wanted to give you a big hug with a tiny kiss, obviously. Gotta kiss your homies. Naturally. All there we go. You're doing better. Beth has been asking about you too. Oh, I appreciate it. How are you two doing? Oh. Have you been watching the whatchamacallit? Mm. Dude, I swear you've developed dyslexia out of the blue since I got diagnosed with epilepsy. What do you mean? I've had dyslexia since I was in elementary school. I think I got diagnosed with it in elementary school. Not a competition? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Of course it's a competition. I was dyslexic before you. Oh, I misread that. I read that as you've. I swear you've. And I think I even like read it out loud as I've. And I was like, wait, but we went over this like when I like so long ago, right? Like it was like a joke that I needed to get the dyslexic thing, the dyslexic um font and stuff like that, and I tried it out for a bit. That's why I was confused. Oh no, it's just that they sent me to those like the the disability classes when I was in elementary school. Ah, no worries. Weren't you saying that you were about to go to bed, Vib? You have a you have a good one, Vib Verb. And I'll see you around, man. You take care too. Have a good sleep. As much as I mock Canadians, I have been surrounded IRL and online by those pesky fuckers for the last 7 years. Yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with it. We're here. We're here, and you get to deal with it. So now if I take one of these and I place this sucker in the world, right? And I don't like that because I would like to have some kind of thing around it. So we're going to go to a viewport here. We're going to say we're going to add in a sphere collider. And the sphere collider, we want this here to auto update to whatever our spawn radius is. Doesn't need to update overlaps because we don't actually care about it. And then we do no collisions. What's a Welsh place? Um, just it's anywhere in Wales, right? Place outside of Wales that happens to have a Welsh name. Yes. Named after Welsh places or derived from Welsh words. Ah, fucking Welsh. What a people. So 10 is not big enough. So what if we do 50? That's probably a bit too big. Maybe 300. That seems better. So now, if I do this, so I do this, and say this, and maybe one over here. There we go. Now when I hit play, we'll start getting some guys spawning in. The Welsh tract is a big area in the U.S. part of Pennsylvania and New England that have a shit ton of Welsh place names. Interesting. A friend of mine is from Pennsylvania and lived in a place where Brian Marr, which means big hill, Brian Hill, Ma, big, large. Welsh's reverse order. I see. Yeah, fucking weirdo. But our spawner's working. Now if we take our enemy base here and we do on point damage. No, it's on any damage. On damage. Event any damage there. I don't think I want to do that in here. Because this requires me to make calls that I don't want to make. take any damage. This isn't correct because we need the on take. We need the signature. UE C++, take any damage. Is this actually is this actually like no, it's not. Okay. That's what I thought. Here's our thing. Damage. In this case, we're not worried about the damage type, but we could we could worry about the damage type. If we really wanted to. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go nap off and annoy the GF and also get fuel ready for the morning trip into the office. Big love, man. Hopefully I catch you tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully. I don't make any promises. If is alive, return. To do add something here. Oh wait. If is alive, return. Right, and then here we would kill character. So what I'm going to do is I'll do this, right? And then we'll do this. And then we can see the damage potentially happening. What is defined as damage time in the event any damage node? Oh, I haven't, I forgot to actually wire this up, so we'll have to do that. But so there's kind of two ways that you can think of this, right? So because Unreal was originally developed for for the Unreal Tournament game or the Unreal series, and it kind of developed into a full-fledged game engine that you can do just pretty much anything in. It didn't start out that way, but there is a there is a, we go to character here, attack here, right? No, we need the projectile. The projectile is going to do this, right? Here. So I can apply point damage, right? So if we want to think about point damage, file new. So for point damage, I've got my character, right? Then I've shot my character, say, right here, right? So because I'm shooting a gun, the damage only affects this point here, right? So I can say, hey, you know, point damage is being applied, and I can grab information about it, which I've got set up here to tell me where exactly we've hit, kind of thing. So I can do that to figure out information. Like if I want to apply, say I get hit in the head, and I want to apply a force to the head for the ragdoll. So they die, and I want to apply a force, so they go flying, right? So I can do that by applying point damage, right? And the point damage here, this is the information that I have to pass to the point damage. I don't have to technically. All I really need is this and this, right? And then the rest of this, I don't necessarily need to care about. But you can also use your gameplay statistics, apply damage. So this would be generic damage, right? You gameplay statistics, apply radial damage, right? So Unreal's got these little things here that are wired up in such a way that you don't have to worry about building out the infrastructure for it. But realistically, all we're really doing at the end of the day is saying, hey, you know, we've hit somebody, right? Here's our hit character. If we have a function that we just want to call on this hit character, right? We could just be like explode. And then it would just call this whatever the explode, if this was hit character was actually like the right type, it would just explode them, right? Or I think I've got I've got kill characters, so I could just do this. And then I don't have to worry about the binding, right? And when you're first starting out, I would suggest doing things more like this, right? Then diving into this more complex system that offers you more information, like more options down the road, but at higher complexity. So if you're just getting started out, try and stay away from stuff like this sometimes, because this just gets too complex too quickly, right? Now, we were in base character here. Yeah, here. And we were going to do, oh, right. I didn't actually set up the binding. So so when I say I haven't set up the binding, right? This requires an event. right? And in order to set up an event to actually trigger in C++, you actually have to set up a binding for it. And I keep forgetting to do that. Oh, I have it right here. We're gonna just delete this because I don't care about it. Right. No, we'll just move everything up here. Oops. Do, 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 do. Hmm. Oh. Wait, why is this a float? Interesting. So we can just do this there. Okay. And then we'll remove that. Now we've got the default take damage. And then we'll do the binding. And the binding is right here. Right? So it's just we're saying on take any damage. Dot add dynamic, right? And then we pass in this, and then we do a pseudo character base take damage. Here's our actual signature. I don't think this is supposed to have a value. Like I don't think this is supposed to actually take a value in. Take a value back. Yeah. Okay, no, I was 100% right. It is not supposed to have it's not supposed to be a float. It's supposed to be a void. But take damage is part of this. Or is it inheriting from no, it's inheriting from a character. You know what? I think that we actually just do this. And then I'm going to not use this at all. What is super? I will explain that in a second. Damage amount. And then we need our instigator. Go. Don't care about that. No, not on top of. Override, you mean? No. So okay, so I have my parent class, right? So if I come here, here's my character. Here is the character by itself, right? This is Unreal's character, right? So if you create a character in Unreal, this is the character you get, right? This is the code that makes up the character, right? So if we take a look at this, this says virtual, which means that this can be overridden. So I can make my own version of this, right? So if it says virtual in front of it, I can make my own version of it, right? So here's my parent, right? So you've got this is my class, this is my parent, right? If I override this here setup player input component, but I still have stuff that I want to have execute, right, inside of the my parents, right, which is this a character, not the a pseudo character base, right? If I still want to run the setup player input component, Super says run my parents setup player component input component, right? So this runs this one. Does that make sense? But effectively all it means, so all it means is that I want to use my parents' version, right? This just says, I want you to execute my parents' version of this function, right? So I have my version and I have the parents' version, right? The person who I'm inheriting from, like in genealogy, right? So I inherit from a mom and a dad kind of thing. Now we only have one parent in this situation, right? But I want to run my parents' version of this because it has stuff in it that it's doing that I want to make sure always that it runs as well, right? So when we call this, I'm going to also call my parents, and then I'll execute mine and my parents. And here and this because and this makes it so we can interlace it into our own code, right? Does that make sense? It's take any damage. It's gonna feel more complicated than it really is at first. What? Why is this an error? Oh, right, because it's trying to return different a value that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So if a child function, so in a child function, if you want to run something from the parent function, I do it. Yes. 100%. That's what it's there for. Yeah. But it has to be the you would only do super inside of a over one that you've overridden, right? So in this case, I've overridden begin play because I want to set up this binding in begin play, right? But I still don't want to miss out on anything my parents begin play has, right? So I put it before. But I could also just as easily put it after. It doesn't really matter because I don't think it's actually doing anything at all. So like in this attack here, I wouldn't use super here, right? Because I'm not overriding it. So in this case, you really only use super when you have this keyword after. I wonder if it would complain at you. Yeah. I won't compile if you do it that way because attack isn't virtual, isn't being overridden. Yeah. Just remember there's no such thing as stupid questions. The more questions you ask, the faster you get to learn. Okay, so look at that. Current damage is 100. Now we step over it. We do this. Current damage is 100. What is damage amount? Damage amount is supposed to be 10. This is wrong. But we're also going to kill it anyways. Oh. Well, that's 90. How are we here if this is 90? Is alive wrong? Okay, so now we want to jump to kill character. Oh, wait, I forgot to do that. I want to. The kill character doesn't actually do anything right now. Oops. So what we'll do is we'll actually have this destroy. Okay, so now we want that, and then we want to do remove that, and now we only want to we only care when we hit this kill character. Okay, we do this. There we go. We destroyed. We've destroyed. We can kill enemies now. We've managed to kill exactly two people. Maybe three. I think these are spawning a bit too quickly. So we're actually going to resolve that because I don't like that. Spawn rate. Still too fast. Oh, that's every 5 seconds or something like that. So I actually want this to be much, much higher. I think I want this to be like 100. Even higher than that. Wow. We're still too high. Or sorry, too low. They spawn so fast. Oh, wait, that's why. Fuck. You know what works really well when you do the thing that you need to? They're still spawning too fast. Too fast. They shouldn't be spawning this fast. If time since last spawn plus the delta time is greater than the spawn rate, then do this. this is greater than this. It also helps if you put things in the right order. I thought that was getting a bit ridiculously high. It did not feel right. There we go. It works. My spawn rate's a bit too high, though. 0.1. I think this needs to be like 0.01. Nope. 0.01 is still too fast. And 0.1 is a bit too slow. We'll do 0.05. There we go. We have an enemy. We have two enemies. And we should see them disappear. Are these guys floating? They are. Wait, what's going on here? I wonder why they're spawning on top of each other. Oh, I know why they're spawning on top of each other, because they're not moving. Because they don't move, and you've only got so much radius. That radius gets filled up, and then we just default to a specific spot, and then they kind of push each other around. All right. I think I think we effectively call it here, and then then possibly pick up. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll pick up. We'll pick up tomorrow. But we're gonna call 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 it a night here. Wow, that took a lot to get out. Well, thank you to everybody who joined. It was great having you all here. You were all awesome. It's good chatting with you again, gamer. And ta-ta for now.